So today's conversation is about Arlington, right? So Arlington, it's neck and neck for the third and fourth place as far as transactions are concerned with city of Alexandria, right? Mm-hmm. So two areas, they're rather small. They represent anywhere from 9 to 10% of the total transactions respectively. So Arlington is, I would say, the most desirable place to live in the Northern Virginia area. And it is the most desirable place to live because it has the most desirable commute to almost everywhere. Mm-hmm. Outside of going to Fort Belvoir, Quantico, Reston, Arlington is super convenient to almost everything. And that's what makes it so, expensive. It makes it so desirable. Mm-hmm. But there's really just not that much of Arlington, right?
Yeah, there's a relatively small area.
It's a relatively small area. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get a home with a lot of yard, unless
you spend. We'll cover that.
Yes, unless you have a nice little budget. You will have to deal with the traffic that living in such a desirable area with
densely populated.
Densely populated.
And we will talk about all the things that make it desirable and what you need to know before moving there.
So Arlington's about 26 square miles. It's to the west of DC, to the north of city of Alexandria, and then to the east of Fairfax County. Perfectly located. If you're gonna be working at the Pentagon, if you're working in DC proper, if you're working in city of Alexandria, even if you're working in Tyson's Corner. One of the things I love about Arlington area is that they have, I think, the best public transportation of anywhere in the region, true. Right? So if public transportation is important to you and you want to live without a car, Arlington is hands down, next to going into DC proper, Arlington is the place for you to live your car-free, independent living lifestyle, right? Before we move on, if you are ready to start the process of looking for a home, maybe you're relocating to the area or you already live in this area, we have a lot of locals who watch the channel. There is a link in the description to the perfect home questionnaire. Complete the form in that link, and then we will schedule a time to meet with you via Zoom to answer any questions that you may have about relocating to this area. So the median income for the Arlington area is $120,000, whereas the national median income is $62,000. So this isn't surprising, seeing that Arlington is one of the most desirable areas in the region, and this $120,000 is right around the same ballpark figure for Fairfax
County. It's a little bit higher than Prince William.
A little bit higher than Prince William, and also where Arlington is located at. So we have this map of the Arlington area, and this is really the Arlington that we're talking about. I would say that Arlington is kind of divided by north and south by this Arlington Boulevard that runs through the area and then around Arlington Cemetery, right? So there's almost like two different Arlingtons. The price ranges are going to be vastly different. To the south of it, you have the Pentagon, which is going to be where Amazon HQ2 is. The median sales price for the last 12 months was $670,000, right? So depending on what part of Arlington you go in is going to determine like how high up that sales price goes. So when you're looking at zip codes and you're doing your home search in the Arlington area, the 22207 zip code we would classify as North Arlington, is the median sales price for that area is $1.175, and just in the past 12 months there were 547 homes sold in that area, right? And then we have the in the South Arlington, right? South Arlington 22204 zip code. You're looking at a median sales price of $525,000. And so in that 22204, you have about 694 transactions, which represented 20% of all of the transactions in Arlington, right? So
in North Arlington, we're definitely seeing more single family homes. That explains the higher sales price. And then in South Arlington, a lot of those numbers are going to be condos.
That's correct.
So that is why you see such a big difference in that median sales sales price between those two different areas.
Let's talk about the public transportation. So if you go to certain parts of Arlington, you see so many people on bikes, so many people walking, so many people using public transportation.
Mm-hmm.
It's so refreshing because it makes you feel like you're in a city, a city vibe. So that's one of the pros, I would say, are the benefits to living in Arlington, is that you have immediate access to one of the most intense bike trail systems throughout the entire region. But there's also metro rails running throughout the Arlington area too. And that's also another convenient way if you have to move, if you're going to Tyson's, or if you're going to DC proper, somewhere that isn't bikeable or walkable, then that's also available to you.
They also have the public bus system. They have a shuttle from the Pentagon throughout Arlington, which is really advantageous for people who don't want to have to drive in to Arlington. So absolutely, you already brought up the bike share. The VRE stops there in Crystal City. So, and that's all that in addition to the fact that it is walkable. So definitely public transportation is a huge plus in Arlington. So Arlington has, for the last several years, it has had the number 1 or number 2 rated school system in Fairfax County. It has consistently had high marks. It has high graduation rates. The schools are better funded than any other school in the state. They spend more money per student, and Arlington has done a good job. Their student-to-teacher ratio is on like 15-1.
Oh, wow.
Which is significantly less than other parts of the state. And they have the number 1 overall elementary school in Arlington Traditional School, as well as a number of other elementary schools in the area that are pretty highly rated. They only have 3 high schools, but 2 of those 3 are like top 10 rated college prep high schools as far as ratings, according to niche.com. 2 of those 3 offer the IB, or International Baccalaureate program. Additionally, 2 of the 3 schools offer junior ROTC programs. Again, something that we hear parents asking about. Like most of the schools in the area, the schools here have a lot of resources, and therefore lots of extracurricular and lots of enrichment programs. So as far as curriculum at the schools, there's a lot of diversity as far as electives and everything from the arts to sciences. And then you kind of see that continue through extracurriculars as far as what's available as far as clubs. And one thing Abraham and I often joke about when you get to that high school level is every single sport imaginable is played, and we have a team for that. So if you have a student who's interested in anything, all of those sports are played here. And so you're never hard pressed to find something if you have a student athlete to get them involved at the school. And then on the other side of the coin, if you have a student who's more interested in academics, the AP courses are offered in 38 different disciplines in Arlington schools. And so if you have a student who is interested in advanced placement courses, the more highly rated schools are in that higher price point in that North Arlington area.
So the last topic we want to talk about is things to do. So one of the things that I think I like to do the most in Arlington is eat. Arlington has a wide variety of restaurants, and we can't not move out of the restaurant phase without talking about Smokecraft.
I knew you were going to talk about
Smokecraft barbecue. We have a video up about Smokecraft barbecue. It's the best barbecue spot in Northern Virginia.
I would say the DC metro area. I'm going to be honest with you.
I would say that Smokecraft is the most conveniently located.
Absolutely delicious.
Spot.
Yes.
All around barbecue, right? So all around great barbecue spots. So make sure you go visit Smokecraft Barbecue.
People believe a lot of monuments are in DC, and they come to find out that many of them are actually located in Arlington. For starters, Arlington Cemetery, no surprise there. But the Air Force Memorial, the Marine Corps Memorial, both of those, and the 9/11 Memorial, all of those are actually in Arlington, not in DC. But in addition to the memorials, we also have a huge park system throughout Northern Virginia, Arlington being no exception. And so one of their biggest parks is a Long Bridge. It's huge, and it's right outside of the Pentagon. Oh. And so it's a big open field area right outside the Pentagon with like soccer fields, just with families out there. You know, I like Gravelly Park,
right,
or Gravelly Point Park, which is right outside of Reagan National Airport. So that is a park-like setting where you can actually go and check out the planes taking off and landing at the airport, which is really cool, particularly if you have littles. I mean, you could just have a picnic there and hang out. We like to go and play Frisbee there. Now, I always say Theodore Roosevelt Park is my favorite. Beautiful place to take a nice little hike. Has a boardwalk, nice wetlands. It's really cool. Probably my favorite spot in all of Arlington.
Great place to take photos too.
Great place to take photos.
There's fountains that
really
large Theodore Roosevelt statue. We have a video on our channel for the Theodore Roosevelt Island, walking through that little area. So
yeah, and also you can the Mount Vernon Trail runs through there.
That's true.
The W&O&D Trail. So lots of outdoor activities. Also, the only kind of true bit of nightlife in Northern Virginia is probably going to be found in Arlington. If you look in that Boston kind of courthouse area, then you're going to see that's a good place to do like happy hour, go out after hours.
So even though this isn't in Arlington, there's the Smithsonian Museums, which is right across the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
There is the
Georgetown, which you love.
I love the Georgetown area. There's the Kennedy Center, which has these free concerts. Arlington is north of City of Alexandria, so you're a quick ride into the City of Alexandria. So you can go to the King Street area or the Old Town area.
Mm-hmm.
So Arlington just gives you such quick access to so many things. And I know what you're thinking. Why don't we live there? Well, the missus believes that the boys need grass.
The boys need grass.
They need grass. They don't graze yet, so I don't know why we have grass. But that's okay. If you are relocating to this area and you are ready to take that next step, or even if you maybe live in this area now, you're looking to sell your house and buy in a different area, there is a perfect home questionnaire in the description. There's a link to it in the description. Once you fill out that form, we will schedule a time to meet online, same background, same cameras, and we'll answer any questions that you have about moving and any real estate related questions, right? So we had somebody this week reach out to us who lives in Herndon. She's going to be selling her property and she watches the channel. So we're not just catered to individuals who are buying, also individuals who are selling as well. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you on the next video. Peace.